You gotta keep on breathing if you wanna make sense of it all. We will not fall. Take a nice comfortable seat. Just roll the shoulders up. Ooh, squeeze the shoulder blades together and let the shoulder blades relax. So take that deep breath in and squeeze and let go. Do that once more. Breathe in and breathe out. And settle into your easy pose, Sukhasana, or lotus, half lotus, Siddhasana, butterfly, anything that works. And let us take a Jan Mudra. Thumb and index finger come together. So the other three fingers are lightly outstretched and together. And you're just placing a tiny little bit of pressure on that thumb there, and just rest the backs of the hands down, sitting nice and tall. And this past week, we worked a little bit on the side body. So feel the side body all the way from the hips right up to the earlobes. And it's that container, that vessel of all of the important organs, protecting our heart, lungs, digestive system. And almost feel that you're taking yourself and your awareness inside your body. Feel the breath go in through the nasal passages, into the lungs, feeding the body with oxygen. And then as you breathe out, you exhale, letting go of tension and tightness. And as you breathe in, you feel your vessel expand, sides, front, and back. And as you exhale, you settle back to letting go. So as we come towards the end of September, can't quite believe it. We've already been through so much in September with the autumn equinox and the full moon as well. And there was a partial lunar eclipse. So much has already passed. And, as the weather starts to shift, so do we. So does our approach to autumn. So all about finding some balance within your life after a hectic summer. So today, really focus on balance of the mind and body working together. Balance of the sides of the body, left and right. And balancing the yin versus the yang. So putting in the effort and also releasing the effort. Slow and steady breaths bring you to a place of calm and stillness, focus and clarity, preparing your mind, preparing your body for practice. And always bringing yourself into this present moment, not letting yourself get pulled away. And for your own personal intention or your sankalpa for practice, draw into what you need most as you come towards the end of this month. Maybe it is looking at your practice from the eyes and through the eyes of a beginner once more, with an expert and experienced body, which was our theme for September. going back to basics, back to school, as it were, back to yoga school. Or maybe you have another intention that you would like to bring in for your practice. Just focus on that now. Gently release your mudra, opening up the palms, stretching through the fingers, all the way to the fingertips, to the fingernails and beyond, wiggling the fingers, and really get into all of the knuckles and start to rotate the wrists one way and circle the wrists the other. Give the hands a little shake. And just drop the chin towards the chest, keeping the neck nice and long, shoulders are down. Feel the stretch down the back of the neck, all the way down through the center spine, down through the shoulder blades, and then lift the gaze and keep the neck nice and long again. So we're really extending this space between the earlobes and the collarbones. We don't have to drop the head back. We simply gaze to the sky, relaxing through the facial expression. Bring your head center. Turn your head to look over one shoulder. Stretch down the side of your neck. And bring center and to the other side. And to center. Drop the ear to the shoulder. Try not to let the other shoulder rise up, making sure the head is kind of nice and facing forward. It's not tilting down or tilting up. Let the head become heavy. You're going to feel that stretch in the side of the neck. Bring it back and just let it rock over to the other side, keeping the stability across the collarbones. Breathe deep into the throat and the neck there, nice and slowly. Bring it back up, lift the knees, and give yourself a big hug. So the hands come down towards the ankles. You get the belly and the chest over the thighs, letting the head relax down towards the knees, and just start to feel your back body here, your spine stretching out. Rolling yourself up, sitting nice and tall. Swing the legs around behind you, come into your tabletop position. And again, just feel the sides of your body here through your cat and cow. So dropping the belly, looking forward, opening up through the chest. Exhale, rounding. Pressing away from the mat through shins and palms. Inhaling to look forward. Exhaling to look inward. Just do two more. Coming back to neutral. And then those little S bends. So the hips go over to the right side of your mat. And you looked back towards the feet. Pulling navel gently in towards the spine. Pull yourself back through center. Hips go left, head goes right. You might feel that just into the side of the thighs, side of the buttock. Go left and right a few more times with your breath. Exhaling as you release, inhale as you come center. And then coming back into center, releasing back into a child's pose. You can take the knees wide if you like, but reach the hips back towards the heels, reach the fingertips forward, lift the belly up, extend the spine, and release the head. Deep, slow breaths, softening into this posture as much as you can here. Maybe this does feel tight on a Saturday morning. Nice and slowly bring yourself back up. We're going to bring our right leg through to the front of the mat. You can use your blocks here if you have them handy, or you don't need blocks at all. You're just up on your fingertips, dropping into your lizard. Exhaling again, taking these nice and steady as we gently warm up. But we're going to keep the chest nice and high here. So we're dropping the hips, shoulders pull back just a little bit, and you're pulling navel in towards the spine. So it depends. If you're down here, you tend to be down on your palms, and your chest is a little bit. That's why the blocks help a little bit to bring the fingertips back towards the body underneath the shoulders. Nice and slowly pull the hip back and dig the front heel in. Now keep that heel nice and wide of your mat. Don't bring it into the center. Just reach the hands forward, exhaling as you fold, softening into that right knee if you should need to here. Again, not overstretching, just releasing, letting go. Bring yourself back in through the center, and we simply sweep that right leg back. Left leg comes forward. Again, choosing your dragon variation, up on the fingertips or the blocks, pulling the shoulders back. We're not dropping down to the floor on these ones. Try and relax as much as you can. Let go of tension in the muscles. And gently pull those hips back. Keep the heel nice and wide of your mat, digging the heel in, pulling toes back, reaching fingers forward, and exhaling into that central space. Bring yourself back and sweep that left leg back around, tucking the toes straight up into our bent legged downward facing dog. Pedaling out through the feet, moving the spine, feeling the sides of the body here, introducing little twists, looking underneath the armpits. And you can always come to tabletop and child's pose at any point through these down dog or connecting vinyasas. Let's go through a connecting vinyasa to warm up the spine. So exhaling, releasing the heels into your downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward into your high or low plank. Lowering knees, chest and chin comes down between the thumbs. We keep the hips high, elbows tucked, chin comes down. Releasing all the way into prone, elbows tucked in, and inhale into your cobra. And then exhale, lower tuck toes back to downward facing dog. Starting to walk the feet towards the hands, coming all the way to the front of your mat. Exhaling there. Softening through the knees if you need, widening the feet. Letting the body hang in ragdoll, taking hold of the elbows, if that feels good, swaying out. Again, be kind to yourself on a morning. Letting the head and the neck soften and release. Give it a little yes and a no shake there. Make sure there's no tension. Release the hands. Lift the sit bones just as much as you feel the stretch through the back of the knees, back of the legs, into the spine as you hang in this forward fold. Nice and slowly, Press through the feet. Inhale all the way up to stand. Reach, reach, reach the arms up. And exhale, hands come into Samasthiti at the heart center. We're going to go through 3 rounds of Sivananda sun salutations. We take them 1, moving into 2nd gear, moving into 3rd gear, moving into 4th gear. So taking up the pace, taking up the effort as we move through them. So finding your Samasthiti at the front of your mat, we're going to move through 3 rounds, right and left. Inhale up, salute. Exhale, fold. Release right leg back. Low lunge. Step back to plank. Lower on your exhale. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right steps forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Left leg, inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left steps back, low lunge. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left steps forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, up, salute. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right steps back. Exhale, sink. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right. Exhale at the front in a fold. Inhale, press up and lift. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left steps back, low lunge. Exhale. Inhale, plank. Exhale, knees down. Lower, inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left. And exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up. And exhale back into the heart. Last time, I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to let you move with your breath. There is no half lift. Maybe an opportunity to close the eyes. Syncing mind with body. Moving seamlessly through all of the postures, being guided and supported by your breath. And wherever you are, in salutation, Finishing off that Samasthiti at the front of your mat. Releasing hands down to mountain pose in Tadasana. Taking steady breaths to calm the heart rate, which I'm sure has increased. Moving from up and down. Let's lift the arms all the way up. We're going to swan dive. Straight legs if you like, bent if you like to. Keep the weight into the toes. This time we introduce a half lift. Exhale. Step or float it back into chaturangas or your upward facing dogs. Your choice of your connecting vinyasas there. Back into downward facing dog for 5 breaths. Inhale 1. Exhale. Inhale 2. Exhale. Inhale 3. Exhale. Inhale 4. Exhale. Inhale 5. Exhale. Inhale, lower to tabletop. Exhale, release back to active child's pose. Feet, knees together, up onto the fingertips, and exhale the head down. Let's work our way through the Sivananda 12. Our first posture is our Shirshasana, our headstand or a headstand prep. So making your choice, making your frame, measuring out your little triangle, interlacing the fingers, and maybe just the head comes down. Knees can stay down on the mat. You can tuck the toes. Finding that headstand or supported headstand. Finding a steadiness of mind, body, and breath. Holding for as long as you need. Maybe it's 5, 10, or 15 breaths. When you do want to come down, take your time and come back into child's pose. And if you've been in child's pose for a few breaths, you can come up to a nice kneel. We'll wait there for a moment just to pause, reflect on the posture, reflect on the asana, reflect on the inversion. Just noticing how you feel after that, how it felt for you during the balance. Let's move into our second posture. We're going to swing the legs around and move a little bit forward of the mat, so bringing yourself all the way to the front. Second posture is shoulder stand, Savangasana. So again, choosing your option of shoulder stand. This can be a supported shoulder stand with your arms or a block or a bolster. You don't always have to go to the advanced posture. So choose your option. The legs might be bent, keeping the neck nice and long, always gazing up towards the toes, never turning the neck to the side, making sure that there is space between the earlobes and the collarbones. Again, 5, 10, or 15 breaths. But we do move straight into plow and halasana from this posture. Choosing to go into halasana whenever you like. Maybe that's the bent knees towards the forehead or down towards the shoulders. Maybe it's the straight leg option. Maybe the feet are slightly apart. And the toes do not have to touch the back of the mat. You might like to release the arms to the mat. If you have had enough of your halasana and shoulder stand, you can always come down whenever you need to. If you're still there, that's okay, taking 5, 10, or 15 breaths. When you are ready to lower yourself down, the hands come down as brakes, and you release the shoulders, the upper, the middle, and the lower back, with the legs straight up to the sky, pulling navel in and lowering the legs. Slow and controlled. And when you get there, just release into your Shavasana. Take a moment to soften here. These are the important rests and reflective postures in between. Let's bring the hands around to the back of the head, interlace the fingers, bring the legs together, squeeze, 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 and point the toes. We're going to lift the head and the neck and the shoulders away from the mat as we give ourselves a little neck stretch, bringing the elbows in towards the center line. Keeping the neck nice and long, pulling those elbows forward, pulling navel to spine. 5 long, slow breaths. My whole body's shaking when I'm doing this. Nice and slowly, release it back. Release the arms up behind you. Big, big stretch of the body. Reach toes away, reach fingers away, and then the arms sweep all the way around as you bend the knees and place the hands underneath the buttocks, palms face down for Matsyasana, your fish pose. Release the legs, bring the elbows underneath the body, and push up. Again, keeping those ears away from the shoulders. We don't want this caving of the chest. So we want to lift the sternum as if somebody had a block underneath that spine, but you are doing the work. The head may or may not come back towards the mat. You can always look along the body. And gently release the elbows. Roll the back down. Widen the feet. Release the hands. And take that rest posture of Shavasana. Gently draw the right and left knees in towards the chest. You can squeeze those knees nice and tight as you keep the spine lengthening along the mat underneath you, lengthening the tailbone. And then you can circle and massage through the spine. So the Sivananda 12 practice is from the crown of the head all the way down through the spine, down to the coccyx or the tailbone. Opening out the knees if you want to release into the hips just a little bit. And your choice here to come up to seated. We're going to go into our Paschimottanasana, which is our seated forward fold. You can roll over to one side and bring yourself up nice and slowly, or you can extend those legs along the mat and use your abdominals to pull you up. Not quite. So activate the legs. Reach the arms nice and strong and tall, and then reach up and over, exhaling gently, finding that forward fold. So we've already done forward folds, but in the standing posture. So we have gravity on our side there, lengthening the spine, keeping the chest nice and open to the thighs. Hands might come to the toes, the shins, or the thighs. Sit tall, wiggle the flesh away from the buttocks. Exhale just a little bit more. Keep the chest, the shoulders nice and open. Navel gently pulling back. It's not crushing the abdominals. You're pulling in the navel to the spine. And then release the body. Exhale. Soften everything. Soften the back of the legs. Let the head hang towards the knees, rounding through the spine. Very different feeling. And gently roll up through the spine, back up to seated. We're going to take a counter pose in an upward facing plank or an upward facing tabletop. Hands come back behind you, and you can use the blocks here if you like, but fingertips are facing forward, and lift the hips. You can bend the knees into that tabletop. Open the chest here. Lift the hips up towards the sky. You're going to push into those palms. Strong arms, strong shoulders, strong core. 5 breaths. And slowly lower it down. Bring the hands forward and just give those wrists a little release. Whoa, upward facing plank. Spin the legs around. Let's come all the way down into prone for our 3 back extensions. Head onto the hands, big toes touch, and just gently sway out through the hips. Take a moment again in these rest postures to relax and let go of everything. No effort needed. This is the yin. Let's come into the yang. So cobra. Finding your cobra, Bhujangasana. We've done many cobras in our sun salutation. So this is a 5 breath hold. We're going to roll those shoulders back and down, pulling the elbows in towards the rib cage and back towards the heels. We don't have to come too high in those cobras. Neck is long, looking along towards the front of the mat. We're pressing into the tops of the feet. Maybe each inhale lifts us a little higher. Nice. And slowly release it down. Big toes touch. Relax everything. Always find the balance between the postures. Let's go for our locust, Shalabhasana. So I'm going to give you a couple of variations. One variation is that the hands are by the hips and you can lift the legs and the body at the same time, or just the upper body. Another option is interlacing the fingers, pressing the knuckles back again, legs and arms raise, or one of the others. Or the other option, hands come underneath the body. You rest on the chin, palms are face down, little fingers touch, and just the legs lift. So you're digging in to those shoulders, chest, and let's find that 5-breath hold, whichever locust you chose. Squeeze the legs together. That's the hardest part. And lower down. Woo. Hands come by the hips. You turn to the cheek. From here, we come into our Dhanurasana, which is our upward facing bow. So releasing the hands back towards the heels or the feet, keeping the knees nice and parallel to the hips. And again, lifting the upper body and the lower body, or one of the other. Give yourself a big smile. It's always nice to smile in bow pose. Slowly coming down, again turning to the opposite cheek this time, and just release your knees, windscreen wiper, left and right. And then place the feet back down. Big toes come together, soften. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. We're going to press back in through tabletop or your plank, straight into your downward facing dog. And exhale. Find 5 breaths. Release the head, release the neck. Let there be softness there. Release the heels. Feel the backs of the legs releasing. Pressing chest back towards the thighs. And this may be an option for you, certainly not for me, but you can jump the legs through the arms into a seated posture, ready for your seated twist. Or you can just bring the feet as close to the hands as possible. I know. Some people, they get the legs all the way through. I don't know. Sit nice and tall. Let's come into Ardha Matsyendrasana twist. And again, options with the leg extended or both legs are bent. Let's take the right leg over, dropping both sit bones down, and we're really sitting tall, grounding through this big toe. This foot isn't kind of half working, it's very, very active, getting the belly free of the thigh and coming into that Matsyendrasana twist with your Jaan Mudra. Thumb and index finger together. 5 breaths. Think of the sides of the body lengthening, expanding with the breath. Bring yourself back through center. If you had the extended leg, you might just want to bend that up so that you can turn all the way around to go to the other side. Bringing the left in front of the right. Planting that left foot. Foot, make sure it's pointing forward rather than the toes out to the side of your mat. Dropping down through the left buttock. Taking the twist. Maybe the elbow, maybe the hug, and the Jaan Mudra. 5 breaths. And bring yourself back through center. Unravel the legs back behind you and come back into your tabletop position. Find your cat and cow there and just observe any differences that have taken place throughout the spine. Mine certainly does feel a lot freer, a lot less tense after all of those postures. When I first start a practice, my back is very, very, very tight. And release back into your active child's pose. Once more, toes come together, active ankles, releasing hips, belly, chest, stretching over the thighs and reaching forward with the fingers. Fingertips might be down or up onto the tips. So a little bit of a change here in the traditional Sivananda 12. Ordinarily, we would go into crow pose, but today we're actually going to go into side crow, so which is a little bit of a twist through the torso. So bringing the feet underneath the body, bending into the knees, coming back up onto the tiptoes, and you can always stand on a block here. And what I'd say is probably shoot over to the right side of your mat so that when we do turn towards the left, your hands are still at least on the mat. So we're going to give ourselves a big twist to the left, hands plant, getting those knees locked over the elbow and the back upper arm, and maybe that's enough for you just to lean. Maybe you lift a toe at a time. So again, finding what works for you with the side crow. Everybody's side crow is very, very different. We are locking those elbows in, creating a little ledge. Five breaths. And come out. Woo! It's been a while since I've done a side crow. Scoot yourself over to the left side of your mat. So really allowing that belly to come free of the thigh gives you a lot more space here. I'm actually going to turn around the other way. Good. Get those knees squeezing together. Again, creating that ledge, making sure that those slippy leggings don't fall off. Squeeze knees and ankles together. Breathe and smile. And well done. Bring yourself back to the center of your mat. And then exhale, take a full forward fold there. You might do a nice little half lift first. And then getting all of that release over the legs. Maybe you deepen this by placing the hands underneath the soles of the feet. Crown of the head reaches towards the mat. Navel pulls up. Release the hands if you took that option underneath the feet. Half lift here. Exhale, release into a soft fold, ragdoll. Take hold of the elbows, sway the head, release the head and the neck, press through the feet, and slowly roll up through the spine. Come all the way to stand. Deep breath in, deep breath out. We're going to lift the arms up, raise up onto the tiptoes. Find the balance. Be strong. Find the drishti. And slowly, with control, you're going to lower the arms and the heels, coming all the way back into Tadasana at the same time. Let's move into our Trikonasana, placing the right leg forward, left leg back. Actually, I will mirror you, so I will go opposite leg. So you can use the blocks here by the front foot, of course. Lifting up the arms, be strong through that first standing posture, making sure you're strong through the back supporting leg, pushing the hip out, reaching over with the side body, and then the hand comes down towards the ankle, the shin, or the thigh. And feel this expansiveness from fingertip to fingertip. Opening the side body here, breathing through that vessel, your container. If you'd like to go into extended triangle pose, the arm comes over the top of the head, bicep to ear, palm face down and parallel to your yoga mat. Good. Keep working through that back hip. Nice. Breathe. Smile. Press through the feet and bring yourself back up to standing. Turn the toes inwards. Just going to have a little bit of a release there before we go to the other side. Hands onto the hips. Nice slow fold. Chest leads. Release the body down. Hands come down to blocks or to the mat. Take a nice little lift there. And then exhale a little bit deeper. And this time the hands reach back behind you, underneath. The fingertips face away, and you claw the floor or the mat, well, probably not the mat, but your floor towards you. So the arms are straight. Crown of the head reaches towards the mat. Sit bones are high. And then bring the hands back to the center. Lift up into the half lift. First of all, navel to spine, nice flat back, flat, parallel to the mat. Take the hands away from the mat if you feel strong enough. Hands to the hips. Press through the feet. Lift the body all the way up. Fantastic. Turn the front foot around, preparing yourself out for that Trikonasana on the other side. The arms raise. Find the focus along the middle finger. Breathe deep, preparing. Hip goes out. Reach long through the side body. And then the hand comes down. Ankle, shin, thigh. And just find the Trikonasana on the other side. Legs are strong. Drawing those inner thighs together. You might go into your extended triangle, Utthita Trikonasana. Hand comes over the top of the head. Palms are facing down. Arm is parallel to the mat. Good. Reach those fingertips away. Roll the rib cage. You're strong through both sides of the body. That's where the side body practice came in this week. And then strong, press through the feet, engage the core, bring yourself back to stand. Good, turn those toes in once more. Oh, my leg didn't want to move then. Interlace the fingers behind the back, press the knuckles down, lift the chest. Take that fold once more, and the arms may go over the top of the head. Deep release there through the shoulders. And you might want to just move the shoulder so you get a little shoulder dig. Left, right, left, and right. So you're just dropping and gentle twist. And then come back into the center. Deep exhale. Release the hands back to the sacrum. Hands come down. And then just come up. Heel toe the feet in from your half lift fold. Into Malasana squat. This is not part of the Sivananda 12, but we are just finishing off here. Exhaling into Malasana. That feels actually really nice after that practice. And just checking in with the spine, checking in with the body, checking in with the sides of the body, how you feel. Releasing the hands, lifting hips, heel toe feet all the way into parallel for that last half lift. Long spine. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Step or float it back. Find your last connecting vinyasa here. Into cobras or your up dogs and back into your downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Come to child's pose when you're ready. Lowering the knees. And releasing the hands back towards the feet. Just resting the belly down over the thighs, resting the head on a block or a mat. Enjoy this rest. Slow breaths. And slowly roll up through the spine. Come all the way back up into a high kneel. Bring those heels together underneath the center buttocks. Sit nice and tall. Relax shoulders away from earlobes. And before we come down onto the mat, just bring yourself into a comfortable seat or a pranayama. So find either butterfly, lotus, nadi shodhana. Breathing in through both nostrils, exhaling through both. Using the right hand and the right thumb to close off the right nostril, breathing in through the left. Close off the left, exhale right. Breathe in right. Close off the right and exhale left. Continue at your own pace, just really only focusing on that breath in, slight retention, exhale out, moment of nothingness. Just a few more rounds, complete cycles. And coming to the end of your last round, your last full cycle, exhaling on the left nostril, and then releasing the hands to the knees, sitting tall, breathing in through both. Feeling the openness, the ease of the breath now through left and right. The balance of the yin and the yang. And then gently rolling forward onto your knees if you can, coming back up into that tabletop position. And find your last cat and cow here. So notice now again the mobility, the flexibility of your spine, the balance between mind and body, the feeling of the sides of your body. And the harmony of the yin and the yang through practice. Move the hips one side, look towards the feet. Move the hips the other, look towards the feet. And then to get us to the front of our mat, we're going to bring the right knee forward, slide it in front of the left. We're going to bring the left knee forward and slide it in front of the right. Keep going until you get all the way to the front of your mat. Making sure that it's equal. And then nice and slowly, we're going to drop the hips back between those feet, widening the feet out to the sides, just releasing there, and then extending the legs out in front of you to be able to roll down through the spine. So make sure that you've got something warm to put on for Shavasana. Exhaling, releasing down through each and every vertebra, pulling navel into spine, seeing how slowly and how controlled, you get to a certain point where you feel like, oh no, I'm just going to give in, but try not to. And relax back all the way. Take a moment to rest. Find that yin amongst all of the yang. Relax the toes, the ankles. Spread the shoulder blades. And then just gently drop the head to one side. Release the chin to the shoulder. Breathe it back into center. Exhale it over to the other side. Breathe it back into center and just lift the head if you like on its own or with the hands looking along the body. And release it back. Long, long neck. And bring the knees in towards the chest. Roll and massage out. Lower back, waists, middle back, rib cage, shoulders, and the upper back. Open out the knees, relax into the hips. Again, softness. And if you feel that there is something more that your body needs as you lie down here on the mat, maybe it's just a gentle rotation into the spine, releasing the knees one way and the other, or you can simply come straight into your Shavasana, ready for your final relaxation. And throughout the entire month of September, we have approached our practice as if it were the very first time, with an expert and experienced body, but with a beginner's and a learner's mind. So now take this Shavasana as if it were your very, very first Shavasana. You never know how long you're going to lie there. You never know what to expect. But just to give in to it and enjoy lying on your back with nothing more to do than to relax, let go, and to breathe. Notice how the mind and body now feel as you give into gravity, into the earth, softening all muscles, bones become heavier, skin relaxes its tautness. And I will let you know when it is time to come back around. But for now, be present with your own body and mind in harmony. Begin to take a few deeper breaths now as you just bring your awareness back into your surroundings and your body on your mat. Bring movement, slow and steady, into the hands and the feet, maybe just rolling on the back of the skull with the head left and right. Giving the body a big stretch, bringing the feet together, pointing and stretching the toes, reaching the arms up above the body, maybe interlacing the fingers and pushing the palms back to get that wrist and elbow stretch. Suck in belly to spine, spine to mat here, and then exhale, release the hands and wrap them around the knees as you bring the thighs to the chest. Lengthen tailbone, feel the connection of the entire spine on your mat, and roll left and right as you just give yourself that little final massage before we return back into our day, rolling over to one side and just gently and slowly pressing yourself up to seated. Returning to whichever seated posture you need today, bringing the hands into Anjali Mudra at heart center, pressing the palms together for connection, activeness through the wrists, sitting tall, relaxing shoulders, increasing the space between the earlobes and the collarbones. As you rise the crown of the head to the sky and ground through the sit bones, sitting tall. Allowing this sense of balance and accomplishment for practice today. And always thanking your breath, your body, and your mind for all it does for you. And returning to your own personal intention for practice, whatever that was and whatever you needed most, and how you can take that into the rest of your day. I thank you. Namaste.